What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. This is pretty insane. We have yet another big name out of the NL East getting popped for 80 games. This time, it's a Phillies player getting suspended. The Juan Soto trade, no, not the San Diego to New York one. The Washington to San Diego one is shaping up to be one of the greatest trades in MLB history. Staying with trades, prominent MLB reporters are saying that the Pirates might already have to move on from Paul Skenes because they can't afford him. Cody Bellinger made one tiny little change to his swing, which instantly worked, and now he's become prime Bellinger over the last few weeks. And Akil the Badman Badu, he's trying to save the Tigers with not just one, but two web gems in one inning. He got all three outs by himself. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we do exactly that. We recap every game almost every single day. So grow the game of baseball with me, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget that recap would be impossible to make without SeatGeek. Be sure to use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you like fantasy sports, you have to download Underdog Fantasy with code Fuzzy. If you do that, you'll get up to $1,000 in bonus cash credit. You'll get a free pick'em, and it's really easy. All you have to do is pick higher or lower. They also have brand new game modes like ladders. It's a lot of fun, so check it out if you got some time. Code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy. First things first, we need to check in on the Twins and see if they picked up their 14th W in a row. That is not bait. That is absolutely real. Milwaukee, they broke out the small ball. Rookie Isaac Collins bunted over both runners, and your great grandpappy would have loved this sequence. You had a bunt and then a single by a slap hitter. Sal Frelick, he flicked his wrist. The 34-inning shutout streak for the Twins is over. Is there another streak? The win streak? Is it going to be over two? Oh God, it's 3-0. Isaac Collins, the rookie, made Zebby Matthews pay. You cannot walk three in a row and expect good things. Frelick with another flick. It's 4-0 Brew Crew, and Freddie Peralta is shredding on the bump. This was his only mistake pitch, and it's really just because Royce Lewis is that good. Here comes Minnesota. A 420-foot perfect home run was followed up by another home run from Royce after a Brooks Lee RBI single. Royce went to I lied. Holy sh... Jackson! He caught it. He jumped at the very last millisecond to literally bring it back with shades of Lorenzo Cain on that robbery. Royce can't do anything but tip his cap. Trevor McGill, he comes in and slams it over 2 strikeouts for a 6 save. The Brewers do in fact stop the Twins in their tracks, but hey, 13 games in a row is still insane. Orioles fans, I just want to say I'm saluting you and I respect your dedication. Almost 40,000 people showed up to cheer on their fledgling Orioles, only for them to witness another home run derby and their starting pitcher giving up 400 runs. CJ Abrams has been an absolute unit this year. Wait for his second home run later in the game. Luis Garcia Jr., bye-bye. He has 4 RBIs his last 24 hours. Washington needs him to get hot. Washington also needs this kid to get hot, and maybe this will do it. Dylan Cruz hit a skyscraper 3-run home run just past Cedric. Anytime a ball is hit to Cedric, I feel like he has a chance to catch it. CJ, dude, the Juan Soto trade has been insane for the Nationals. CJ is hitting .312 with 8 home runs, 9 stolen bases, a 164 OPS plus. They also got James Wood, who just stole a bag and can now score on this Kyber Ruiz single. It's an 8 spot versus Zach Eflin, who is usually pretty dependable. Wait, hold up. The Orioles, they're storming back. Cedric, he hammered a solo home run. Gunnar, he was gift wrapped, one of the worst breaking pitches I've ever seen. Literally broke right in his wheelhouse. Mullins, it's deep. Maybe again. It's off the wall for an RBI double. Jackson Holliday, 400 plus feet the other way. He's 21 years old doing that. That is not normal. Unfortunately for Baltimore fans, Washington snatched the momentum back with a Josh Bell bomb. 433 feet back to DC, deleted that baseball. CJ Abrams had 10 total bases in this game, 2 home runs and a double. James Wood cashed him in, so that's James' 30th RBI of the year. The Baltimore Orioles have lost 6 games in a row. They are now a full 15 games under 500. They're 15-30. Now, real quick, I want to talk about that Juan Soto trade. James Wood, CJ Abrams, they've combined for 3.5 F4 with 20 home runs, 17 stolen bases, and 48 runs batted in. Mackenzie Gore has 84 strikeouts in 56 innings. That's a 13.5 strikeouts per 9, and that's not even the trade in its full. There's some other guys coming up like Robert Hassel. There's also a Susana guy. He might throw 104 to 105. This Juan Soto trade is going to go down as one of the best trades that a team has ever had in regards to sending away a superstar. As bad as I feel this year for Baltimore fans, I don't think anyone has it worse than Pittsburgh fans. Okay, maybe Rockies fans or Angels fans, but Pirates fans are already bracing for impact. They really think that they're going to lose Paul Skenes this year or next year. If the Pirates don't get Paul Skenes to sign an extension, they got to trade him and get a ton of prospects, right? Like, that's just what they have to do, or they're going to be charged for fraud and malpractice. Paul Skenes was insane in this one, but Mick Abel, the rookie, he was also special. Yes, the top prospect we've been talking about for years finally made his debut. We saw his dad fired up on his first strikeout. It was against O'Neal Cruz. Skenes is pumping. We had 3 first overall picks on one screen. Paul Skenes, Henry Davis, and then Bryce Harper, he's striking out. We're going to fast forward to the 5th. Castellanos, he picked up the first hit for the Phillies. He then went first to third on a Max Kepler single, and Marsh, he was able to beat out the double play for the game's only run. Rookie Mick Abel, he threw 99 a few times en route to going 6 scoreless with no walks. That's the biggest part of his game. If his command is in check, he's going to shred. Oh, by the way, he had 9 strikeouts over those 6 scoreless with no walks. Paul, he also had 9 strikeouts, and he went a season-high 8 innings on just 3 base hits. He had an 8-inning complete game. Why? Because his team could not get anything going. Jordan Romano also feasted on the Pirates lineup. He had 3 strikeouts to end it for his 5th save. The Pirates have lost 3 games in a row, and I think 4 Paul Skenes starts in a row. They're 15-32. They got shut out again because their big offseason additions for Paul Skenes after he went crazy in his rookie season and almost won a dang Cy Young his first season. They got 33-year-old Adam Frazier, who is batting .217 with a 63 OPS plus. He's getting a bunch of daily at-bats. 37-year-old Tommy Pham is also getting a lot of reps. He's hitting 179 with a 35 OPS plus. Jeff Passan said that they should trade Paul Skenes now if they cannot get an extension done, because obviously that's not going to happen. And even so, why would Paul extend with the Pirates? Bob Nutting has been absolutely incapable as an owner. He doesn't spend money. He is one of the worst owners in sports history. If I'm Paul, I'm not signing, and I'm just begging to get traded. And again, Pirates fans, I'm so sorry. One more thing, Jose Alvarado, the nasty lefty, he got popped for a banned substance. Now, he said it was a weight loss drug, so we don't know if that's, I don't know what it was, Ozempic or Mimarjo, whatever those things are called. Alvarado had 7 saves, 25 strikeouts, and a 2.7 ERA. He was really good this year. That would have been a bigger blow had Jordan Romano not literally become prime Craig Kimbrell over the last 2 weeks. It still sucks regardless. It's a loss to depth for the Phillies, and he's the second fairly prominent name after Jerks and Profar to get suspended for 80 games this year. Super quick, one more 1-0 game to get out the way. Ketel Marte's solo home run against the Rockies was the game's entire run scoring. By the way, Ketel over his last 159 games has 42 home runs and a near 160 OPS plus. Merrill Kelly, he's finally over those episodes where he was just getting cramped out of games. He's looked like an ace for the last month now. He's dotting corners, up, down, left, and right with the fastball, and he's got a nasty changeup. Opposing hitters have a 183 batting average against his changeup. He struck out a bunch. He had 2 more strikeouts in the 7th to complete 7 innings, 1 hit, 11 strikeouts. That is otherworldly. I don't care who you're playing. Shelby Miller yet again took a few weeks off of Snakes fans' lives because he has back-to-back appearances with 2 hits and a walk. Somehow he hasn't blown either of them. His 4th save gets the Diamondbacks to a 25-22 record. Colorado, they're 3-22 on the road. What is that? Another real quick game where 1 starter and 1 hitter basically won the game all by themselves. I can't even remember the last time I saw pickoff at second, but that pretty much spelled trouble for the Guardians. I was like, we're not winning this game. Abbott and McLean, perfect timing on that back pick. Will Benson, he had some perfect timing on this swing. It's another home run. That's 4 games in a row, I think. Yeah, 4 games in a row. He gets so fired up. I wish that he was still on the Guardians again. He's a former Cleveland prospect. They chose Will Brennan over him, which has not been great. Not great at all. I mean, come on. He did it again. His first multi-home run game as a big leaguer, of course, comes against the team that traded him away. He has 5 home runs his last 4 games. The Reds broadcast was hilarious. They said Will ran into his ex. He's looking good. Life is going well. I mean, I just thought that was a funny comparison. Cincinnati sweeps after Emilio Pagan gets his 12th save. That's the first time in 13 years the Reds have swept the Guardians. Shout out to Andrew Abbott, who's down to a 1.8 ERA after striking out 5 across 5 scoreless. He has 43 strikeouts in 35 innings. He's kind of been the lefty Merrill Kelly. He doesn't throw very hard, but he dodged the fastball, and he's got a crazy good wicked changeup. Speaking of sweeps, for the first time in years, the Angels are on the verge of sweeping the Dodgers for the first time in 15 years. Since 2010, Zach Neto wants it bad. This kid is ridiculous. 425 feet on that leadoff no-doubter. He has 15 extra base hits, 7 stolen bases, and a near 2 WAR in 27 games. Uh-oh, we got a blister and a bad one too. Look at Gonzo's pants. He stayed in. Taylor Ward did not. This baseball had reserves in the tank. It kept carrying and carrying and carrying. I cannot believe that this is a real stat, by the way. Taylor Ward has 12 home runs, but only a 90 OPS plus. That is diabolical. He's got to get on base more. Travis d'Arnaud, he makes it 4-0, while Yusei struck out a ton. 96 miles an hour for his 7th strikeout. He just has to get... Okay, Ohtani owns everyone, including Yusei. Ohtani ripped the ball at his kneecaps for an RBI single. The bases are loaded. Freddie's up, and it's right to Taylor Ward. That was a scary inning for Angels fans. Now, unfortunately, Yusei had to leave after a play at first. I don't know if he tweaked his ankle, but he nearly goes 7 innings with 3 base hits, 7 strikeouts, and this kind of would have happened regardless because there's no way Yusei was coming out for the 8th inning or 7th, whatever it was. Will Smith, he reset the game with a 3-run missile to left field. It's 4-4. But wait, the Dodgers sent out Anthony Banda, who's been kind of good but also very untimely with his blowups and meatball pitches. D'Arnaud just proved that. 94 middle. D'Arnaud yanks it out. The Angels got one more on a double play. I'm not going to show it. The Angels take it 6-4. Kershaw was not great in his season debut. I do want to mention one more thing. Actually, two more things. The Dodgers, they just dropped two longtime veterans on that Yusei play. You saw Edman beat it out, right? They released Chris Taylor to make room for Tommy Edman. He spent 10 years with the Dodgers. He's been awful since 2022 with a decent little 2023, but he had some awesome postseason moments, including that walk-off in the wild card of 2021. Austin Barnes was also released. He's known for his awesome game calling, pretty good framing. That's about it. So the Dodgers are finally doing it. They're operating like a business. Sometimes in a business, you got to make some really tough moves, and they just gave up on Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes. They appreciate the efforts and time, but it's time to go. Boos are already raining down. Juan Soto is stepping up. This is going to be such a fun rivalry for the next decade and a half. It was already fun watching the Subway Series, but now that Juan is on the Mets, I mean, it's even better. He dropped his PCI. He flat out where he used to play out there in the Bronx. This was the Bellinger experience, and let me make sure I say this. Open stance Cody Bellinger experience. He's been unstoppable since making this one small change, and he did the same thing when he went nuclear in 2023 as a Cub. Max Fried, he couldn't get McNeil out with 2 outs, so it's 2-1 Yankees, and it's 2-2. McNeil is at it again. This time on the bases. What a read. He scores on the pass ball. Max Fried and the other lefty, David Peterson, they both went 6 quality innings. Neither is going to factor in the W, and I actually audibly laughed at this next clip. When I was scripting, I chuckled. Pete Alonso threw a baseball to Narnia. That's something that you think about all night. Like, I'm talking your very last thoughts before you drift away into REM sleep. You're thinking about that error that you made. Goldie! People called me a madman for saying to trust what his second half was last year. He was a rock star to end the season last year. He's hitting .340 with 25 RBIs. Bellinger, he just ambushed the first pitch fastball for a grand slam. He got on base 5 times, 3 base hits, 2 walks. He's hitting .390 with 6 extra base hits and 12 RBIs his last 12 games. The Yankees, they take the first of 2 Subway Series. They're now 27-19. The Mets, their dream of 30 wins needs to wait at least one more day. They're 29-18. 2 straight games with the grand slam. The bases are juiced for the rookie Drake Baldwin. Okay, he's not the grand slam guy. He's going to get MVP votes one day, and lots of them if he keeps this up. He's hitting .360 with the 170 OPS plus as a rookie catcher. Ozzy, not a grand slam, but it is another run. Ozuna, he added 1 more, so it's 3-0 Braves. Wait, here we go. Rafi's up with 3 on. Is this the grand slam? Schwellenbach provided all the power. He threw 98 down the middle, and Rafi did not miss it. He's been on a mission. He just had that walk-off home run. He's batting .402 with 7 home runs and 24 RBIs his last 21 games. He's been the lefty Aaron Judge. Bayo, he got himself in immediate trouble. Riley, he tied it with a single. More trouble in the 5th. Bayo walked in the go-ahead run, dude. Yikes. Eli White then peppered one to right center. Only 1 scores because Ozzy had to freeze to see if it would drop, and now he's scoring. Nick Allen with the long RBI sac fly. That is 7 earned runs in 4 1/3. Brian Bayo is a full-blown bullpen destroyer. He has 3 consecutive outings without making it to the 5th inning. The Braves, they had another sac fly, and I'm just going to fast forward to Ozuna's big fly. The Big Bear with a big fly. He left everything. He makes it a 10 spot with a 430-foot home run. Ozuna, by the way, already has 40 walks. He's on pace for 145 walks. That is nutty. The Braves are back over 500 at 24-23. The Red Sox 23-25. Man, Boston cannot stack any momentum lately. Same with the A's and the Padres. Elliot Ramos and Patrick Bailey, they combined for every single RBI in this game for the Giants. Ramos went 410 feet, or 408, I don't want to lie, for a leadoff tank. And to be honest, Jeffrey Springs, he was really, really good after that. Luis Matos, he stole a base hit from the hit machine Jacob Wilson. I wanted to show that. Elliot, he could not do the same in the 4th. Luis Urias, he's in there for a double off of JV. Justin then walked the bases loaded. You cannot do that versus a 9-hitter. Now he has to face Lawrence Butler, and Lawrence just stole the lead. The A's are finally stacking momentum. Springs was masterful. 5 strikeouts, just the 1 earned run over nearly 7 innings. Now it's up to his bullpen. And this isn't good if you're an A's fan. They call it Triples Alley for a reason. Lamont Wade Jr., he's around for 3 bases, and Patrick Bailey just tied it. Wade scores, and Ramos, he secured the go-ahead. A 2-run 8th inning saves Justin Verlander and the Giants from taking an L. Ryan Walker is back to being good, knock on wood. He has 8 saves. The Giants are 28-19. The A's have lost 5 games in a row. This was the only highlight for the Padres all afternoon. Nando has 12 home runs. He's 3rd in NL F4 behind Ohtani, and one other guy, we'll talk about that next, like the next game. Not this guy Randy, well, duh, he's in the AL. Randy has 11 extra base hits, 17 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases with a .415 on base his last 31 games. Sheesh. Leody, that's a ground rule double, which actually isn't that great because it's unlucky. 2 would have scored if it didn't bounce over. It's all good, though. Miles Mastroboni got it in. That is a 3-run inning off of Michael King. It's not easy to do that. The Mariners, they ended up with 6 on a Mitch Garver single, a Cal Raleigh sac fly. I'm not going to show that. I'm going to skip to this J-Rod knock all the way in the 9th inning. So I really just wanted to fly through those so we could fanboy over Brian Wu again. The five-starter air quotes, has been Seattle's ace this year. 7 innings. Just the leadoff home run to Tatis, so he went 6 scoreless after that. He was using his fastball, his changeup, his slider sweeper thing. He's got a sinker. Like, look at the sinker, how he ended the 7th inning with his 5th strikeout. Look at the movement on the 94. He has a 2.5 ERA. The Mariners are 26-19. The Padres are 27-18. We just talked about Nando being top 3 in F4 behind Ohtani and some other guy. The other guy is PCA, who showed up with some extra base madness all over again. He tripled in the 1st. Look at this dude fly. You got to cut these baseballs off, or at least find a way to throw your glove. I don't care. Pete's around for 3. He scores on the Seiya sac fly. Seiya had 2 of those, by the way. And right after Miguel Vargas went yard again, I've talked about this 2 or 3 times a week since he made the change. High hand Miguel Vargas might actually be the truth. PCA's up again with Vidal Brujan on. Wait, they put the hit and run in motion. I don't know if Vidal Brujan is going to score it. Look, he's stopping at. Wait. Oh, Pete. He's in for a double. Brujan had to turn on the Jets again. He's safe. It's an RBI double. Listen, I love home runs, but I like chaos just as much. PCA and Judge are the only 2 guys in baseball with 3 F4 or more. Pete's hitting .290 with 12 doubles, 3 triples, 12 home runs, 38 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, a 153 OPS plus, and 8 outs above average. I need a full breath before I say his stats sometimes. He would be your NL MVP if the season ended today. And like I said, Seiya had 2 RBI sac flies. Michael Busch had a ground ball up the middle. Vidal Brujan, he looped a baseball in. He's trying to make sure that fans don't say that the Marlins smoked him in that Matt Mervis trade. Nico, he had his 2nd double of the day. This one pushes it to a 6th spot. The Cubs, they went easy against their crosstown rivals. They're now 28-19. Matt Mervis has been atrocious the last 2 weeks. The guy who the Marlins got in return for Vidal Brujan. He's 4 for his last 45 with no home runs, but at least his teammates showed up. His pitcher, Cal Quantrill, was really good. He had a few strikeouts, and he had a pretty crazy inning later on. Cal's going to go up 1 on this Liam Hicks RBI single to... No, he ain't. This was on a line. 0 bounces required out the hand of Josh Lowe. He unleashed a cannonball to keep it scoreless. That changed in the 3rd. No outs, so Wall, he's going to score anyways. But Otto Lopez, he dropped an easy out. Luckily for Otto, Cal locked in and got out of that jam, and check this out. Like, actually look at this. He had back-to-back strikeouts on 3 pitches to start the 4th. So 2 strikeouts, 6 pitches. Make it 3 in a row on 9 pitches. That, my friends, is an immaculate inning. The Marlins rewarded their starter with a 3-run tank. And looky who hit it. Make an error, pick up your pitcher. You have Otto Lopez with a 3-run jack. Liam Hicks, this kid rakes. He would have had the RBI earlier if Josh Lowe didn't throw a seed, but Liam's now up to 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, a 127 OPS plus. He's already proven to be one of the best blocking catchers in baseball. He does have to work on the framing, but if Salvador Perez can get good at framing over an offseason, same with William Contreras, so can Liam Hicks. He was a Rule 5 draft pick, by the way, so he was a free pick from the Tigers. Cal Quantrill and the Marlins, they beat the Tampa Bay Rays 5-1. They're 18-27. The Rays also under 500 at 21-25. Imagine the Tigers with Liam Hicks in that lineup, although they do have Dylan Dingler, so I don't think they mind. I'm sure that they're happy that Hicks is away actually getting some playing time. Torkelson, he's on his way to a big game already. That is a 2-run 2-bagger in the 1st inning. Dalton Varsho, he wanted both of those back and more, but I don't know if this is leaving. Not only is it not leaving, it's caught. Akil, the bad man Badu, the 2028 future NL MVP. I'm joking, but I just like Akil Badu. You guys know if you're OGs, I love this kid. That was a catch straight out of the Bigs 2 video game, like a wall jump where you got to press X and then B and then A and time it right. Jackson Jobe, the pitcher, was like, oh shit, you actually caught that one. Kirk, he smoked one too. And Akil said no again. He fires it back for a double play. All 3 outs courtesy of Akil Badu. Now, later, Kirk went to Akil again, but this time he was smart. He hit it on the ground. Vladdy, he scores, and now it's a 2-2 tie. Ernie Clement, he has found brand new life over the last few weeks. He's batting .371 his last 10 games. Jobe, he's still in a lot of trouble. Glaber, he snagged a liner. There's 2 outs. Kirk, he chopped one to McKinstry, and he can take his sweet time. Kirk is one of the slowest players in baseball history, so Jackson escapes the jam. He went 6 innings, so this means that he's now in line for the W. Spencer Torkelson's 3 RBI day provided all the offense that the Tigers needed. He has 12 doubles, 12 home runs, and almost 40 RBIs. He has 38 RBIs. He had 37 RBIs all of last year. It could have been a fun ending. Vladdy was up as a chance to walk it off, but Vladdy, he has a weak tapper to end it. Will Vest now has 5 saves. The Tigers have 31 wins. I feel so bad for Jack Leiter. This is going to be one of those games where I cut a lot of fat and just skip to one specific inning. I mean, you can see why. Jack, he put Houston in a blender through 6. He went inning after shutout inning after no-hit inning. 6 no-hit frames. Now it's 6 1/3, 6 2/3 no-no, 2 outs. Yander Diaz stepping, and it's about to be, oh no, he just ruined everything. Literally everything. The no-no, the shutout, it's all gone. Jack got the 3rd out, but back-to-back singles in the 8th knocked him out the game. This one hurts. This one really stings. It's just insane that Wyatt Langford even made it a close play. 2 of those 3 runs were credited to Jack Leiter. Texas literally traded for Robert Garcia to get out of jams like that, but Isaac Paredes' 7th wins it for the Astros. Robert Garcia takes the tough L. Josh Hader, he throws Duran, which that was 100% a strike, buddy. The Rangers even the series at 2 games apiece. Both the Rangers and the Astros are 2.5 games back of Seattle for first place. Alec Burleson, see ya. Burleson with the bomb. And that was it for St. Louis off of Michael Walker and the Kansas City staff. I had no idea that Renfroe was still on Kansas City. By the way, he's been so bad I thought they dropped him. He had a 30 OPS plus before that double. Blanco, the speedster, he's finally getting some ABs. He roped a double to tie. By the way, Dyron Blanco has 58 stolen bases his last 161 games. Matthew Liberatore, he retired 7 straight to end his 6th inning gem. I don't know what he did in the offseason, but he better do that every single year because he's figured out how to be a big league pitcher. He has a 2.9 ERA and 9 starts. Drew Waters, he's kind of doing the same thing, but on offense, not to the fullest extent as Matthew Liberatore, but he's kind of breaking out slowly but surely. 3 bases, and Michael Garcia, he clutched up for the go-ahead, and that's all the bullpen needed. Daniel Lynch to Lucas Ursek to Carlos Estevez has kind of been 2024 Guardians like. It's game over. If you're losing and you face those 3 guys, it's over. Carlos Estevez now has 13 saves. The Royals are 26-22. St. Louis is 26-21. And there we have it. Another big recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. If you did, just a couple more favors. If you enjoyed or you appreciate the effort, leave a like. And if you're brand new, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy. And that's it. Enjoy the web gems.
Ground ball in shallow right from his knee. To center, but a lunging catch. It's a good tough play. Lewis will barehand on the run and a wonderful play. Allen, a 9-hitter. And a diving play by Hamilton. Got to this one up off his feet. Throws. Schreiber. Burleson gets jammed and bloops it up the left field line. Garcia runs out from 3rd and the key line drive and it ticks off the glove of Reba. Stays with it on to 3rd.